I need to start with something I have never said out loud before. There was a moment when my daughter was 3 years old. She was standing in front of the mirror in our bathroom, and she looked at her reflection and said, "I'm not pretty." She was 3 years old. And those words hit me like a physical blow because I knew, in that moment, that she had not made those words up. She had heard them somewhere. She had absorbed them from somewhere. And the somewhere was me. Not because I told her she was not pretty, but because of the way I spoke about myself when I thought she was not listening. The way I looked at my own reflection with disappointment. The way I moved through the world, apologizing for taking up space. She was 3 years old, and she was already learning to see herself the way I saw myself. That was the moment I realized I was not just raising a daughter. I was raising a mirror. And everything I had not healed in myself was going to show up in her whether I wanted it to or not. I almost raised a broken girl. Not because I did not love her. I loved her more than I have ever loved anything in my life. But love alone is not enough if it is not paired with awareness. And I did not have the awareness I needed in those early years. I had to learn it the hard way through tears and mistakes and moments that still make me catch my breath when I think about them. But I did something differently. And today I am going to tell you exactly what that was. Hi, I am Jessica. I am a single mom. I am not a therapist. I am not an expert. I am just a woman who has sat on the bathroom floor at midnight, wondering if she was enough for her daughter, and decided to figure it out, no matter what it took. This video is for every single mom raising a girl right now who feels that same weight. Everything I am about to share I learned the hard way so that you do not have to. These are 7 things I wish I had known before my daughter turned 5. And if even one of them changes something for you today, then everything I went through to learn it will have been worth it. Number 1, she is not learning from what you tell her. She is learning from what she sees you do. I used to think that if I told my daughter she was beautiful and smart and worthy every single day, then that would be enough. I said the words, every morning, every night, "You are beautiful. You are enough. You matter." But she was still standing in front of that mirror at 3 years old, calling herself not pretty. And it took me a long time to understand why. Because children do not learn their self-worth from what their parents say. They learn it from what their parents model. Your daughter is not listening to your words nearly as much as she is watching your life. She is watching whether you speak about yourself with kindness or contempt. She is watching whether you eat your food with guilt or with enjoyment. She is watching whether you rest without apology or whether you run yourself into the ground and call it love. And she is filing all of it away as the answer to the question she is asking without words. What am I allowed to feel? How much space am I allowed to take up? What do I deserve? Your life is her first answer to all of those questions. I had to start doing the work I had been avoiding for years. Not for me, for her. I had to start speaking about myself differently. I had to start setting boundaries that I had never set before. I had to start looking in the mirror and finding something to appreciate instead of something to criticize. Not because it came naturally, it did not. So the first thing I did differently was this. Every time I caught myself about to say something negative about my body, my abilities, or my worth in front of my daughter, I stopped. I replaced it. Not with fake positivity, but with honest self-respect. And slowly, something shifted in her. Because children do not need perfect mothers. They need real ones. They need to see the woman in front of them trying to love herself honestly. That is the most powerful thing you will ever teach your daughter. And it starts with what you do when you think she is not watching. She is always watching. Number 2, her emotions are not dramatic. They are data, and she needs you to read them. Little girls feel everything deeply. And I mean everything. My daughter could go from complete joy to absolute devastation in 45 seconds flat over something that seemed completely insignificant to me. A crayon breaking. And my instinct in those early days was to say, "Stop being so dramatic," or "It is just a crayon, it is not a big deal." But here is what I know now that I did not know then. When I dismissed her big feelings as dramatic, I was not teaching her to be less emotional. I was teaching her that her emotions were too much, that they were inconvenient, that they needed to be hidden or controlled or apologized for. The truth is that little girls between 1 and 5 are not being dramatic. They are being completely neurologically appropriate. Their brains are flooded with emotion and they have almost no tools yet to regulate it. The crying, the meltdowns, the overwhelming reactions to small things, all of that is a nervous system doing exactly what it is supposed to do at this stage of development. What they need is not to be told to calm down. They need someone to help them understand what they are feeling and show them that their feelings are survivable. So I changed how I responded. When she melted down, I stopped trying to make it stop immediately. I got down on the floor with her. I said things like, "That really upset you, didn't it?" Or, "Your feelings are so big right now and that is okay." I stayed with her in the feeling instead of trying to fix or dismiss it. And something remarkable happened. When she felt heard, she calmed down faster. Not because I had solved anything, but because her nervous system could borrow my calm instead of escalating against my resistance. And over time, she started to name her own feelings. She would come to me and say, "Mommy, I feel sad," or "Mommy, I feel frustrated," instead of just erupting. Because I had taught her that her emotions had names and that those names were welcome in our home. Number 3, you are her first picture of what a woman deserves from love. This one is the one that kept me up at night, because it is the one with the longest reach. Your daughter is between 1 and 5 years old right now, and she is already building her internal blueprint for what love looks like, what it feels like, what it requires of her. And she is building it entirely from watching you. If she watches you stay in situations where you are not valued, she learns that love requires tolerating pain. If she watches you give endlessly without ever receiving, she learns that being a woman means depletion. If she watches you accept less than you deserve and call it love, she will grow up and do the same thing. Not because she is weak, but because it is the only love she ever saw modeled up close. I had to look at my own relationship patterns and ask myself a brutal question. What is my daughter learning about love from watching my life? And the answer was not comfortable. It pushed me to make changes I had been avoiding, to end things I had been holding on to start requiring more from the people in my life. Not for me, for her. Because I knew that what she saw in those first 5 years was going to follow her into every relationship she ever had. You do not have to be in a relationship to teach your daughter about love. You can teach her by loving yourself well, by showing her what it looks like to be a woman who knows what she deserves and will not accept less. By letting her see you choose your peace over chaos, your worth over approval, your well-being over the comfort of someone who does not treat you right. That is the love education she needs. And you are giving it to her every single day, whether you realize it or not. Number 4, stop raising her to be good. Raise her to know her own mind. From the time little girls can understand language, we start teaching them to be good. Be quiet. Be polite. Do not make a fuss. Share even when you do not want to. Smile even when you are uncomfortable. Say sorry even when you did nothing wrong. And I did all of this. Because it is what I was taught. Because it is what the world rewards in little girls. Because I wanted people to like her and approve of her and find her easy to be around. But what I was actually teaching her was compliance. I was teaching her that her comfort mattered less than other people's feelings, that her no was negotiable. And those lessons do not stay in childhood. They follow little girls into teenage years where they cannot say no to a boy who pressures them, into adulthood where they cannot say no to a boss who exploits them, into relationships where they accept mistreatment because they were taught that keeping the peace is more important than honoring their own feelings. I stopped raising her to be good and started raising her to know her own mind. I started asking her opinion on small things and genuinely listening to the answer. I stopped making her hug people she did not want to hug, even family members. I let her say no to things that made her uncomfortable, even when it was socially awkward for me. I validated her when she was angry instead of rushing her to apologize. I taught her that her voice mattered, that her feelings were information, that her boundaries were worth defending. And yes, sometimes people found her difficult. Sometimes she was not the easiest child in the room, but she was an honest one, a self-aware one, a girl who knew what she felt and was not afraid to say it. And that is the woman I want her to become. Number 5, your wounds will become her wounds if you do not deal with them. I am going to say something that is going to be uncomfortable for some of you, And I say it with so much love because I had to hear it too. The things that were done to you, the ways you were hurt, the beliefs you formed about yourself because of what you experienced, those things do not disappear when you become a mother. They show up in your parenting. They show up in the way you respond to your daughter's emotions, in the standards you set for her, in the fears you project onto her, in the patterns you unconsciously repeat. If you were taught that you were not enough, you will find yourself either overcompensating, desperately trying to make your daughter feel enough, or you will accidentally communicate the same message to her without meaning to. If you were not protected as a child, you may become either overprotective in ways that stifle her or underprotective in ways that leave her vulnerable. If love in your history came with conditions, you may find yourself loving your daughter conditionally without even realizing you are doing it. This is not blame. This is biology. This is how trauma moves through generations. But it stops with awareness, and it stops with you deciding that your daughter will not carry what you carried. I had to go back and look at my own childhood wounds with honesty. I had to find support, whether that was therapy, a trusted friend, a community, books, prayer, whatever it was. I had to start healing the parts of me that were still bleeding because those bleeding parts were dripping onto my daughter, and she deserved better than that. And so did I. You do not have to be fully healed to be a good mother. Nobody is fully healed. But you do have to be willing to look at your wounds honestly and commit to not letting them become her inheritance. That is the work. And it is the most important work you will ever do. Number 6, she needs to see you fail and get back up. One of the biggest mistakes I made in those early years was trying to be strong in front of my daughter all the time. I did not want her to worry. I did not want her to feel the weight of what I was carrying. So I hid my failures. I pretended everything was fine. I smiled when I was breaking. I pushed through when I should have asked for help. And what I accidentally taught her was that women do not struggle, that strength means never falling apart, that asking for help is weakness, that being a good woman means being an invincible one. But none of that is true, and I did not want her to spend her life trying to live up to an impossible standard that I had set by accident. So I started letting her see me fail in age-appropriate ways. When I burnt dinner, I said, "Mommy made a mistake. Let's figure out what to do." When I was having a hard day, I said, "Mommy is struggling today, but I am going to be okay." When I asked for help from a friend, I let her see that too. I let her watch me try things I was not good at. I let her see me get something wrong and try again without falling apart. And what she learned from that was worth more than anything I could have taught her from a place of performed perfection. She learned that failure is part of life, that getting back up is what matters. That strong women are not women who never fall. They are women who fall and rise and keep going. And she saw that in me, and she started to believe it was possible for her too. Number 7, the most important thing you can give her is a mother who did not disappear. I want to close with the thing that matters most, the thing that everything else in this video has been building toward. Your daughter does not need you to be perfect. She does not need you to have all the answers. She does not need you to never make mistakes or never struggle or never have a moment where you do not know what you are doing. What she needs is for you to still be there, present, consistent, available. She needs to know that when she looks up, you are going to be looking back at her, that when she cries, you are going to come, that when she is scared, you are going to be steady, that when she doubts herself, you are going to believe in her until she can believe in herself again. In these first 5 years, your daughter is building her attachment system. She is learning whether the world is safe, whether people can be trusted, whether she is worth showing up for. And the answers to all of those questions come from you, from whether you show up, from whether you stay, from whether you choose her even on the days when you are empty and exhausted and have nothing left to give. I know what it costs to show up every day as a single mom. I know the weight of it. I know the loneliness of it. I know the nights when you wonder if you are doing any of this right. But I also know this. The fact that you are watching this video right now, that you are here, that you are asking the questions, that you are trying, means that you are already giving your daughter the most important thing she will ever receive. A mother who did not disappear, a mother who stayed, a mother who chose her even when it was hard. That is everything. That is the foundation she will build her entire life on. and she is so lucky that it is you. I want to speak to woman, for just a moment before we end. Nobody prepared us for this. Nobody sat us down and said, here is what it actually feels like to raise a daughter alone. Here is what she actually needs from you. Here is what to do when you realize you are passing down the very things you were trying to protect her from. We figured it out in the dark, in the middle of the night, on the bathroom floor, in the quiet moments after she fell asleep when we replayed the day and wondered if we got it right. And we kept going anyway, because that is what we do. If you want something that will walk with you through this journey, I created something specifically for mothers like us. It is called How to Raise Kings and Queens. It is not a perfect parenting manual because those do not exist. It is an honest, practical, deeply human guide written by someone who has lived this and wants to make your path a little clearer than mine was. Inside, you will find everything we could not fit into this video. The hard seasons, the conversations you do not know how to start, the moments when you need someone to remind you that you are not failing. You are figuring it out, and that is exactly what a good mother does. The link is in the description below, not because I want to sell you something, but because you deserve to have the tools that I wish I had been given. You are not just raising a girl, you are raising the woman she is going to become, and she is going to be extraordinary because she has you.